Have you ever heard of places that exist only once every 100 years? Imagine walking down an ordinary road, only to stumble upon a city that isn't on any map. The buildings look brand new, the streets are completely silent, and the air is filled with a strange scent of old paper and rain. You decide to enter, but there isn't a single soul around. Storefronts are stocked with goods, but no customers. The clock tower has stopped, and the shadows on the walls seem wrong. But the strangest part? From deep within the city, you hear a voice calling your name. Stay until the end of this video because today, I will tell you one of the most mysterious and chilling stories that will make you wonder. What if you ever find yourself in a place like this? Our story begins with a young photographer named Alexey. He had always dreamed of finding an unusual place to shoot and creating a true masterpiece. One day, he came across an old travel guide about small Russian towns. As he carefully studied it, he noticed something strange. There was a description of a city that had no records online or on modern maps. The city was called Lisovsk. The book said it was an old trade city where time stopped once every 100 years before vanishing again. Alexey thought it was just a legend, but he decided to go anyway. He found approximate coordinates and set off in his car toward the mysterious town. As he drove, he couldn't shake a strange feeling. The closer he got, the more his radio lost signal, and soon his phone stopped working. Then suddenly the city appeared before him. Buildings, cobblestone streets, old lanterns. Everything looked as if people had just been there. Alexey parked and stepped out. The air felt heavy, as if something was pressing down on him. He took out his camera and started filming. Shops were open, products were on display, and newspapers on the stands were dated 1924. He peeked into one of the houses and saw a table set for dinner. It looked like the owners had just stepped out for a moment and would be back any second. But the strangest thing? An old camera sat on one of the chairs. Alexey picked it up, but at that moment, he heard footsteps behind him. He turned around sharply, but no one was there. A soft whisper floated through the air. "You are already here?" His heart pounded. Who said that? He ran back to his car, but it was gone. Where he had parked it, there were now bushes. Panic surged through him, but he forced himself to stay calm. He pulled out his phone, battery dead. The only choice was to go deeper into the city. He wandered through the empty streets, looking for someone, anyone. Then he saw movement in one of the windows. As he got closer, he saw a figure standing inside. Their back was turned, their body blurred, as if covered in mist. Alexey wanted to knock, but then he noticed. The figure was copying his movements. He raised his hand, the figure raised its hand. He stepped back, the figure stepped back. It was like looking into a mirror, but the glass was foggy, and the face of the person remained hidden. Suddenly, the silence of the city was shattered by church bells ringing. Alexey flinched and ran. He ran through the streets, but they seemed to stretch longer, turning into a maze. The voice came again. "You've been here before." He stopped dead in his tracks. A powerful sense of déjà vu washed over him. He looked down and saw a newspaper lying at his feet. On the front page was a photo of himself. The caption read, "Missing photographer. 1924. His breath caught in his throat. He sprinted toward the city limits, but the further he ran, the more he felt the streets closing in around him. The voice whispered, "Closer now. You are not the first, and you won't be the last." Alexey squeezed his eyes shut, took a deep breath, and felt a rush of cold air. He opened his eyes in his apartment. His camera sat on the table. He turned it on and saw a photo of that city. In the window's reflection, he noticed something. A shadow stood behind him. So, friends, this was the chilling story of the city that appears once every 100 years. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and comment below on what you would do in Alexey's place. And if we reach 1,000 likes, I'll create even more mysterious and eerie stories for you. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. See you in the next video.